Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, stingrays.
Hello, Stingrays.
Today, we're multiplying. Multiplying.
Multiplying.
That's good enough. Decimals.
Decimals.
Yippee!
Yippee.
Go stingrays.
Go Stingrays.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, boys and girls, here we go. We're going to be multiplying decimals. And to tell you the truth, stingrays, it's not that difficult. When you multiply decimals, you treat it just like a normal multiplication problem. The first thing is you want to stack these horizontal problems vertically. I'm going to write it as 3.62, or 3 62/100ths, times 9.5. Now somebody might be saying, wait a minute, Mr. Yerk, you didn't line up the decimal points. You know what, that's true. But when we're multiplying, you're going to find out too, and dividing, we handle the decimal points a little different. They're still important, but unlike adding and subtracting decimals, when it's very important that you line up your decimal points, and that gives you your reference point and makes sure that all of your place values are in the proper columns. With multiplying, it doesn't really matter, in a sense, okay? We're going to treat this just like a normal multiplication problem. We first stack it vertically, and then I do 5 times 2 is 10, and then 5 times 6 is 30, plus the 1 is 31, carry the 3. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. Then I put a 0 right here as a placeholder, and then I do 9 times 2 is 18, put the 8 there, carry the 1. 9 times 6 is 54, plus the 1 is 55. Carry the 5. We can get rid of that and that. Now 9 times 3 is 27. 27 plus 5 is 32. Put my 2 there and my 3 there. Then just like regular multiplication, we have to add these. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 8 is 9. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, and then I bring down my 3. Now, you might say, well, what about the decimal? Well, this is what you do with the decimal points. You need to keep track of them. It's not so much the decimal points as the decimal places. Right here I have 2 decimal places. What does that mean? I have 2 place values behind the decimal point that are filled in. The 6 here represents the tenths, and the 2 represents hundredths. So I have 2 place values behind the decimal point. Over here I have how many? Just one. Just one decimal place behind the decimal point. And I add these up. 2 plus 1 is 3. So altogether I have 3 decimal places. Not decimal points, decimal places. So what do? I go down here, guess what? Guess how many decimal places I need in my answer, my final answer? I need 3. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 decimal places over, and that is where I'm going to put my decimal point. My answer is 34 and 39 hundredths, or 390 thousandths. And there's my final answer. That's how we handle it. Let's take a look at another problem. Now this one might just scare you. It looks a little intimidating. I have 56 times 1, not tenth, not hundredth, not thousandths, but 10,000. So I have 56 times 1 10,000. Well, let's stack it first of all. I got 56 up top. I've got 1, 0, 0, 0, point. Okay, I did that backwards. Hope that didn't confuse anyone. I just wanted to make sure I had everything lined up. So I have 56 times 1 10,000ths. Okay, this looks odd. Watch what we do. We treat it just like a regular multiplication problem. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? And guess what? If we were to do all the rest of these zeros, we know that we're going to get 0. And we really don't need to do that. But once again, let's keep track of our decimal places. How many decimal places do I have behind 56? I have none. 56 is a whole number. Okay, there's no place values that are filled after the decimal point. And technically, my decimal point's right here. In 1/10,000ths, how many decimal places do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 decimal place values. When I add them up all together, I have 4 decimal places. Okay? And guess what I have to do? I have to have 4 decimal places in my answer. So I'm going to go 1 over, 2 places over, and now, well, there's no more numbers. Well, guess what? I'm just going to keep on going. 3 places over. Guess what I have to do in here? I have to fill it in with a 0 as my placeholder. And I still have one more decimal place value to go over, 4 over, and I put a 0 here as my placeholder, and I put my decimal point there. I have 4 decimal places in my problem, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4 in my answer as well. And my answer is 56/10,000ths. There you have it. Let's practice some problems together, shall we?